Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you Browser Operator, which is an extension for Manus AI, and you add it to Chrome. And when you add it to Chrome, it basically enables Manus AI to interact with your Chrome browser. So it sounds a little bit scary, but it's actually very powerful and very safe. So let me show you a very cool example within QuickBooks and how you can use Browser Operator on top of QuickBooks. To be able to do this at home and to try this yourself, make sure you install the Manus Browser Operator. It's an extension within Google Chrome. Make sure to pick this one that specifically says Manus Browser Operator, as there's a few extensions out there. Then you're going to head over to Manus, which feels exactly like ChatGPT. It is basically exactly like ChatGPT. It's actually better in some instances. So very good tool to use. The example I wanted to show is pretty basic in this instance. I want to create a vendor and update all the details. So let's say I got this in an email and I got it from someone who says, hey, please find out details. It's got their business name, the contact, their phone number, the address, the state, the postal code. So all of that, like you would normally have to go and type that into QuickBooks, a little bit of a manual process. This is a way to speed that up. Once you've got the browser extension installed, just remember to activate it over here, which gives it access to my browser. And I've said, can you please create this vendor, paste it in the email. And I do have some instructions. So in the instructions, I just say you're an agent that is creating and updating vendors in QuickBooks. If I don't say update the vendor or create it specifically, then it must just make sure to look for it first. And then if it finds it, it's going to know to update it. If it doesn't find it, it's going to know to create it. Then always use my browser. That's just making sure it knows to use the browser operator. This is the link to the QuickBooks demo entity. So this is how I'm getting it to log in. How it works is on your first instance in the day, you will have to do the usual login yourself. But you know QuickBooks, once you've logged in on your browser, it keeps you logged in most of the day. Then obviously return back what you've done. And just one thing I noticed, like, you need to put the HTTPS in, and there's a few other things. So that is the instructions. And all you need to do is say, hey, can you please create this vendor, paste in the details and click send. So I've pre-authorized it, so it's just going to go a little countdown. I think it's, if you mouse over it, it stops. But if you don't mouse over it, it will just carry on. And then here is where the magic is happening. It's opening up the browser. So while it's working in the background, I can tell you a little bit about why and when you would use this as a tool. I'm not saying this is the be-all and end-all best automation to use on top of QuickBooks. To be honest, this is where an MCP server would probably be a little bit better. That's a little bit more of a technical term for using the API access, which means you actually just interact with the backend. This is a browser operator. So it's using the graphical user interface to be able to click, to be able to download files, to be able to reconcile things, so it's basically acting as you. And every time it's taking a screenshot, it's pulling the information from the browser inspector, like the details, the lists, the menus, and it's pulling all of that in. And it is basically now able to navigate and be you. But this is a good demonstration of the power of a browser operator. So, you can use this across LinkedIn, any other accounting platform. You can use it across your social medias. There's a lot that you can do with it. And I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, as it's still in its very infancy stage of things that it's come up with and it's able to do. I've seen people use it for finding coupon codes, paying for their groceries was something that people were doing for like ages ago. It's very, very powerful. So let's have a look at what it's doing at the moment. It started by adding in display name, company name, first name, last name. Excellent. And you can also give it more, you can train it on your business. So if you don't need the phone number, just tell it not to add the phone number. And if you don't need the fax number, tell it not to add the fax number. So these are the little things that you can just enhance. This is just like a very basic example. Another thing to note is while this is working, you don't need to be on this screen. I can go over, I can start making the thumbnail for this video. I can do some other things. I can do emails. It's going to keep working in the background. One thing I have noticed is if I interfere with it, so I bring my mouse over, you can still scroll and you can still refresh the browser. That seems to drive Manus a little bit crazy. It's working off a very screenshot type of model. So it's taking a lot of information as it sees it now, and then sends it back and then processes it and then finds that field. So I would try to avoid scrolling too much or clicking while it's operating, but as you can see, it's doing a fantastic job. Back in Manus, you can see all the steps it's taking. View the page, click the element, click typing, and now it's doing the zip code. You can see a little preview of what it's doing here. So if you don't want to keep popping into this, it has saved it. There we go. And as promised, it's outputting the details that I asked it to show me each time. So as you can see, a very, very powerful use case. I've been using this for like 2-3 weeks on the free version. It only today, when I've really started doing a lot of tests on this, asked me to upgrade. Upgraded, I think is pretty reasonable, the price. And when you pay, you can have multiple operators operating at the same time. So I think up to 2 or 3. That means you can have 1, 2, 3 tabs open and it's doing stuff in each one. And then you can also schedule stuff, which means you can say, hey, every morning, go into YouTube Studio, pull my last video results, give me that data, or go into the sales platform, download the CSV, make sure it's on my desktop every morning. And then it's there. So it's very, very powerful. So guys, this is just a tip of the iceberg. If you're using this for your firm or your business, let me know what you're doing with it. It would be awesome to hear. And otherwise, check you guys in another video.